Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares a story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or on Instagram at Just Keep Swimming _podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we're back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr. 1-3, dropping hot beats for the city as always. So I want to start this episode off by saying, hello, my name is Adrian, and I'm an overthinker. Hi, Adrian. Hi, nice to meet you guys. So, today I want to talk a little bit about overthinking. Yes, I am a chronic overthinker. I do not know why, but for some reason I am. But I also want to talk about some tips and hints that I use to help me stop overthinking or get through all my overthinking phases when I have them, you know. So one thing I like to do that I've been learning to do recently is to find something to focus on. Recently I felt like I was having like a little overthinking segment where I just, I'm just thinking about too many things at one time and just thinking about what other people think or other people's actions or whatever the case may be. And I was like, man, let me play Sudoku. So I just sat there and I played Sudoku, and, it really just helped me relax. You know what I'm saying? It helped me stop thinking about what I was thinking about and really just focus on the game. Definitely at some point where, as I was playing, my determination to beat the game outcame my overthinking, you know what I'm saying? And I think that really helped me distract myself, because when I got back to it, or back to the mission at hand, I felt like I wasn't overthinking it as much as I was at beforehand, if that makes sense, So that's one thing that I really like to do, is find something else to focus on at the moment to take my mind off of whatever is mind-boggling me, whether that's work, what's about to come, the week to come, some recent news you just got, something you just heard, whatever it is may be that's gotten your mind going a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Find something else to do. That's when sometimes I'll go wash some clothes, fold some clothes, do the dishes, start cooking, do something to get my mind off of overthinking, off of my thoughts, and really just focus on getting back to what I need to do, you know what I'm saying? And then two, I always feel like it's good because it's me being productive. That's just me, just being super lazy or just going to sleep or something like that, because I feel like I can't sleep when I'm thinking too much anyway. So just moving my body around and really getting my blood flowing and just focus on another task really just helps me, understand that what I'm overthinking is really small and really trivial, So something else that I learned to do is speak out how I feel at the moment. Definitely if it's something that I can't speak out right now, what's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with just saying how I feel right now. Recently I covered one of my fellow quiz masters playing Jeopardy for the first time. And, it was a cool event. I did pretty good. I felt a lot of people said I did well. I got some tips, so it must have been good. But while I'm doing the game, there's small things that are happening, or like as I'm getting prepared for the game, it was not working the way I thought it was going to work. Some of the systems couldn't work. I couldn't connect a certain way. I had to put on another screen. So in the back of my mind, I'm sitting here thinking like, man, they're gonna be mad. People gonna be upset. And yes, some people complain or whatever. But at the same time, as like the complaints will come in, Jessica was with me luckily, and I'll look at her and I'll just say, I don't know what they want me to do, like woo woo woo, and I'll just give it out like, well, they're gonna have to suck it up and keep going. And then just me saying that real quick kind of helped me drop whatever I was holding on to. So I think a safe outlet is always something good to have, a safe outlet you can turn to and just let your thoughts go real quick, whether that's writing something down, maybe screaming real quick one time into a pillow, recording a podcast like I do sometimes, things like that really do help you just get it out. And I think that's the main thing that you have to do. You have to sometimes just get it out, and then after you get it out, change the course, change the course of the overthinking and really just focus on, what the thoughts are. And I think that's my third thing I want to share with you guys. Something my counselor has shared with me recently is to learn to sit in it. And I think that right there is pretty interesting. Like, learn to sit in the thoughts, learn to sit in the feelings that you're having right now, instead of always running from them. Because, when you constantly run from them and numb yourself, you really never deal with the task at hand that got you feeling a certain way. And that's something I've been learning to do recently too. Like, definitely like at trivia recently, while I was playing the game, it was like, there's nothing I can do right now. All I can do is keep doing what I'm doing, keep the game going, keep the show going. But as of right now, there's nothing I can do, sometimes at work, like the other day while I was at work, of course I was upset because I can barely walk still. My, taking a walk during the school day takes a lot out of me. And they had a fire drill, and I'm like, ain't this a bee? So I had to get up, of course, go outside, and I'm sitting outside the fire drill, and part of me was irritated because it was like, of course there's a fire drill on this day I'm at this school. Like, I'm at this school one day throughout this whole week, and this one day they're gonna do a fire drill. Ain't this some stuff? You know what I'm saying? But then it was like, you know what, there's nothing I can do about it right now, so let me just sit in this right now, let me get over it, and at some point I'm gonna get back in and get through it. The time will pass, and it's like you have to just sometimes just let it go. Just sit in it for a second, and as you sit in it, it starts to disperse. Like, don't act on the negative feeling, but just let it just sit there. Like, I was something I listened to the other day. I cannot remember. It was a TED talk or something like that. As you guys can see, I'm freestyling the hell out this talk. But there was a TED talk that I listened to the other day, and the lady talked about how, when you have your emotions, something about when your emotions come out, you have a certain amount of time to react to them before they disperse. And I think a lot of times if we learn to just let that time pass, we won't react the way that we usually do, when we're overthinking and we're boiling. As my counselor say, you're in the red right now, and you moving right now while you're in the red is not good for you. So wait until you get into the green before you start moving. Even lower than that, wait until you get down to the yellow zone before you even start to move and start to act and start to say anything. If you feel like you're in the red, pause for a second, sit in it, think about how you feel, think about where you're coming from, think about what the issue is at hand. You're a real open-minded person, so look at all perspectives and help, gain understanding that way. But, don't just go off. If you just go off the rails, you're not going to do something good. Find something else to focus on for a moment as you're sitting in it, and that's going to help you just clear it out and comb through all that. So I hope that helps some of you guys out there. Definitely a lot of those people out there that are like me, that overthink everything, which is always a good thing. I feel at the end of the day, we are doing the world some good, because a lot of people don't think at all. They just move, they just react, and it's like, okay, cool, but shoot, you need people like us that's going to actually think about the next moves and what's happening in the world based off our actions. So I salute us, but at the same time, we got to stop holding ourselves back and really push ourselves forward. You know what I'm saying? But ladies and gentlemen, I hope that helped you guys today. Hope you guys have a great day, a marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming.